Welcome back to my reactions to the TV show 24. So we are about to start season 1, episode 5. So Jack just found out that there is a connection between Senator Palmer and the fact that his daughter is missing. Janet has been picked up by an ambulance and taken to a hospital. Terry and Janet's dad are still looking for both of them, but they did find out that Janet was in the hospital, so they're on the way there now. And Alan, Janet's dad, seems to be kind of hit or miss. It's like sometimes he's kind of getting in the way. It just doesn't really seem like a great partner in crime for Terry to have. In the episode before last, Tony Almeida called George Mason, and George Mason came in and did a lockdown, and he was interrogating Nina and Jamie in a pretty corny way, I might add. Didn't really get anything out of them. And finally, Senator Palmer is aware of the assassination attempt against him, and he's finally come clean to Sherry about why he took off and what he's trying to get taken care of with Maureen Kingsley, who we'll probably meet in the next episode. No, I think his day starts at 6 a.m., and episode 5 is 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., so we probably won't actually meet the character of Maureen Kingsley for at least another couple episodes. Only prediction I have for this episode is that Janet doesn't make it. I don't remember what happens, but I don't think she survives. And I do think Jack ends up breaking this guy out, but I don't think he gets any, feasible information from him. So that's where we're at, and let's see what happens.
On the day of the California presidential primary. Assist on the voting.
He does not care.
Excuse me. Thank you. You're welcome. Just please help me. Teenage girl, traffic accident. No name listed. Just a Jane Doe. Can't go in there.
I mean, I don't think that's going to stop him.
Yeah, Kim's friend Janet was in a car accident.
What about Kim?
I don't know. She tried to call me and then she was in a panic and it sounded like she was in trouble. And then I tried to get her, but then we were stopped by this cop.
Surgery. Is she gonna make it?
I don't know.
Yeah, she's here.
I feel like most of the damage was her legs.
Okay,
Was she actually run over or just hit? I don't remember. I feel like that's not worth it, but you also got to think how much $20,000 was in 2001. So, I mean, if I was going to involve myself in a scheme like this, you're going to have to come up with a little more than $20,000. More like $80,000. And maybe $100.
You're not going to say anything to Nicole about Keith, are you? Why?
Because the press is going to get a hold of this. Whether it's today, tomorrow, next
You got to give him a heads
week.
up.
Be prepared.
Well, I thought you said that Carl was going to take care of it.
He's going to do what he can. But I don't
Oh, he's
want
gonna talk to
to
Nicole.
hear something on the news. She'd be devastated.
She's so happy right now, David. We've got to take it one step at a time. I figured it all out, and even if we lose Orange County, we're still going to win.
Nicole.
No, go ahead.
No, you first.
Well, we're going to see him tomorrow. Actually, tonight. What were you going to say?
It sucks to have to tell her something like that.
Is Mason still looking over your shoulder?
No, he ended the lockdown as soon as he found out where you were.
You don't trust me, but you trust Jack?
I feel like he didn't have... Oh, shoot. Now my eyes are burning.
He's been lying. He's been hiding things from us. Yeah, it may be okay for you, but it's not okay for me. I told you were going to get a call from Ryan Seeley, who is our liaison to the PD's office. And until then, you can have my badge, my gun, and I promise I will not interfere with
You can't expect him to act on what you say is going to happen. Especially if he doesn't know you.
He checked out. Midnight. But if he was here, he'd tell you the same thing.
Do you want her death to be in vain? Please forget about the damn chain of command. I need to see this man now. Just for a few
I mean, that is how you get a cop to set the rules aside, generally.
Room to room 2.
But how much is Jack going to actually share with George Mason now? That's kind of the question I have. I mean...
She saw our faces. She saw his face. She's not walking. She never was. I think he's gonna kill her.
I mean, if you're asked to kidnap someone, I feel like you should assume they're going to get hurt.
Come on, it's 10 grand.
These guys,
I just want to get
these guys are such losers.
She's
If you're going to do this, you got to demand more money. Like, things move so fast in the show, I don't even remember what the initial piece of information was. Because there's some type of card that Mason gives Jack, and then Jack gets another card from Walsh. And both of them are at least are trying to follow up. At least Jack is. But when Mason gives Jack the card, he can't tell him what the source is. Like, who's ordering you to not reveal the source? Because, like, I feel like that's such a key component. What is Jack supposed to actually do with this information? How is he supposed to proceed with the investigation if you're withholding that information? So, like, who's giving George Mason those orders? At this point, the only person I'm most worried about is the person above George Mason, whoever that may be. So far, all we know is that Walsh was someone above Mason, and he's no longer with us. So who above Walsh gave Mason an order to not reveal the source? Because that's just going to hurt the investigation. So either Mason or the person giving him orders is shady.
On the other side of this wall is a suspect who is connected with the people who want Palmer dead.
How do you know that?
Walsh and Baylor were killed because they obtained information that led me to this guy.
Stop, please.
Come over to the trunk.
Listen, I don't have time for this, you understand?
Which, I mean, he probably should have done from the get-go. Like, anybody can just look over and see something they're not supposed to see. I swear, I would be a better criminal than half these criminals. I'm just saying. I need to get a new purse. I've been meaning to, but that's all I could think about when she was digging in her bag.
Anything new?
No.
Look, you've got to talk to Janet as soon as she gets out of surgery, okay?
I know.
Like, she wasn't gonna do that. Like, she wasn't gonna do that. He's getting on my nerves every time he talks to Terry. Because I'm internalizing it so much how I would react. Buddy?
So can I go in? Yeah. Right now? You're speaking to everyone. What the hell is he doing? I thought we were about to talk
I mean, he probably knew. Like, come on. If I was in a room and I saw a mirror, I would assume someone could see me.
So,
I want my phone call.
Power. Not until you get me out. How do you know where she is? All you need to know right now is they have your daughter and they're going to call me in 20 minutes. Where? Back where you first saw me. San Fernando Road? Yeah. But if I don't answer, they'll know something's wrong, so get me out of here. I'm not there for that call. The chance is over.
See, that's why you can't put me in situations like this. I'm gonna need 3 business days to come up with a plan, and maybe it'll work.
Set up a trace.
There's not enough time for a warrant.
Forget about the warrant. Not going to hear my voice.
Would you even need a
Did Mason get him out?
warrant if it's a public payphone?
So what are you planning, a jailbreak?
That's not like someone's private line.
Jack?
Not like all public service things, but like for a public payphone.
I heard you went off on him before. I want him to go down for it, which means a clean bust.
What is the play?
Your lawyer can kiss my ass. Get your hands off of me.
I told you, man, he killed my partner.
I know. I was there. Where were you?
What?
Where were you when your partner really needed you?
Like, I know it's probably part of the play, but that's such a jackass move.
What the hell's the matter with you? It's crazy. I'm filing charges.
Key card. I could go for coffee. Paper cups suck though. Those are just
How's Jen?
horrible.
You said he has resources the police don't have, right?
Something along those lines. Sure.
So,
And when he doesn't have the resources, he'll just take the resources. So
We helped each other along.
That would
because
be-
We cared about the same things.
keeping your integrity as a journalist,
Have I ever
when it
lied
comes to
you?
politicians you actually know and are close to, that's got to be
Embarrassed you?
difficult.
But we're talking about murder.
A rumor. Started by my enemies.
That's what I thought too, at first. 2 sources. One, a man named George Ferragamo. He was your son's therapist for 4 years. But an hour later, an African-American teenage boy went to this emergency room 1 block away with similar injuries. The handwriting where he filled out the form and signed his name, I had it analyzed by an expert. It's your son's.
Okay, see this? She's being upfront with him. Honestly, I feel like she's giving him way more than she would ever be obligated to. Like, it sucks to be in this situation, but if you sign up for politics, like, if reporters get information about you as a candidate, they're going to share that with the public. It's what you signed up for. I also find it interesting, though, that she says there's a second source, but she's just telling the information that she found. She's not really revealing anything about who this second source was. So, like, what put her down that rabbit hole? Or was this something she found on her own after she got information from Ferragamo? It also makes me wonder what George's motivations are here, because if you really have information that a supposed suicide is actually a murder, you should be going to the authorities with that. Like, why not bring it to the police? Why go to a reporter with this information? That makes George Ferragamo look shady in this whole situation.
You do what you have to do, Maureen.
Something wrong?
He obviously believes there's validity to this story.
The night your sister was raped, did you have any contact with the boy who raped her?
What?
You heard me.
What brought this up all of a sudden? I mean, let's just leave that all in the past where it belongs.
That tells you right there.
I liked it. What did you do that night after you found out that Nicole had been attacked?
I don't think you have a right to ask me that.
You don't think I have the right?
Somebody had to deal with it. You were in Chicago giving a speech, or New York receiving some civic
You can
award.
deal with my shortcomings as a father some other time. Right now, I want to know what you did after you found out that your sister had been raped.
I'm not gonna answer.
Will, answer me.
Federal colleagues are through with Pentecost. I'd like to start processing them into the system. I'm not leaving till Pentecost is behind bars without bail.
Computer has you checked out 5 minutes ago.
All right, guys, we're on the move. I want you to line up, link up, Marie.
I actually had the thought that I'd be so glad when she got out of the house.
When Janet wakes up, she'll know where Kim is, and then we'll find her.
I just hope it's gonna be that easy. I don't know about that, but I don't know why wasn't she with Janet? It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, you can speed it up.
All right.
Where are you headed, Jack?
If you're part of this assassination plot, why would you use things like public payphones? Different time, maybe, I guess? I don't know. Maybe that is a smarter option.
You all set? Yeah.
I'm not showing anything.
Yeah. It's a cell phone.
We're screwed.
Set of keys with a remote.
Got him.
It's for a parked car on Avenue 26, Nevada plate 782MOF. Find it with the remote. There's a body in the trunk. Get rid of it.
It kind of wasn't smart for Jack to say got it. Like, what if Gaines heard him on the other end of the line? Like, then he knows this guy has someone with him.
Don't move. Hey, Jack. I'm in the car.
I mean, Jack got what he needed from you anyways. Like,
It's pretty quick work.
you killed a cop. He ain't gonna fend for you now.
Satellite? I don't know yet. There are people within the agency that are supporting the Palmer hit. That's why Walsh and Baylor were killed. They found out about it. Yes, I thought you were a part of it. I apologize if I was free. George's crazy as sounds. You're gonna have to trust me.
The Mason's look was
It's gonna
just
look very bad
priceless.
for us if something happens to Palmer tonight.
I mean, honestly, though, if you still have not found anything that indicates Mason, I feel like this is a decent time to bring him into the loop.
What have you been doing?
I'm gonna be there in about 20 minutes. I'll explain to you then.
Back with Dan.
Just be cool.
Just be cool. Yeah. Okay. Probably a little stuffy in there.
Like our money now. That's like, okay.
Well, just so we're like,
You're so out of your league, buddy.
what happened to the other girl? Janet? Like I told you, we had to kill her.
Because my people tell me that someone that fits her description was taken to a hospital near to where you were. How'd you explain that?
How do you explain that, Dan?
The thing is maybe she wasn't quite dead. Oh, well, I'll tell you, Dan. You're either dead or you're not dead. There's no such thing as sorta dead. Here, let me show you. But
I'm sorry, but
you've just been promoted.
that whole scene was just great.
Congratulations.
Promote it. Rip Dan. All right, great episode. I'm still getting used to editing reactions, and this one might be a little bit spotty because my internet cut out twice while I was watching this episode, and I had to restart it. So I apologize if that impacted the viewing experience in any way. So way more going on in this episode. I didn't think Palmer was going to meet with Maureen Kingsley yet, and he did that. And it seems like she has sources that are pretty reliable, so Palmer confronts Keith, and Keith all but confesses to it. He doesn't just come out and say it, but it's obvious that this does appear to be a true story. So that kind of puts Palmer in a difficult situation. It's a tragic story, but for me, I'm looking at this through the sense of if I was going to consider voting for this guy as a presidential candidate. That's how I'm coming at it. And this story would not necessarily make me not vote for you. I really don't care if your son did something that you don't approve of, that you're offended by, or even something that's a crime. You're the one who's going to be in office. And I know some folks would argue, well, that reflects on the parent. I think kids who have fine parents go on to do horrible things. I really do. And for me personally, I kind of reject that argument. I feel like you can have fine parents and still go on to do things that are completely awful. So I'm really not a big fan of that argument. So it's not that I don't care about the storyline. I just feel like they're kind of upping the ante in terms of how serious of a story this is. Whereas to me as a voter, that would not really impact my view of you politically. People are going to do crazy things, and some of those people might be people who are part of your family. And I don't want to minimize murdering someone who raped your sister, but there are worse things that you could do. As far as Jack, I liked not just the fact that he finally brought Mason into the fold. I kind of liked how he did it. I feel like he really pushed the envelope as much as he possibly could and was kind of in a situation where it's well, I kind of have to tell him what's up at this point. I feel like that was part of it. But I think also at this point, if Mason was a problem, he would have uncovered something that pointed at Mason at that point. So I think that it was kind of the logical next step. And I think George Mason, I laughed when Mason kind of gave that face and almost rolled his eyes at Jack. I thought that was hilarious. But overall, he kind of took it all in stride and was okay, at least I know why Jack's doing what he's doing. But on 24, if you ever don't know what Jack's doing, that's just par for the course. As you can see, I absolutely loved the scene with Gaines and Dan right before Dan gets shot. That was just hysterical. This kid is just so in over his head. He doesn't seem to know what he really signed up for, and he doesn't seem to know who he's dealing with. He seems scared of Gaines, but he also seems to think that for one reason or another, he can somehow handle the situation, and it's so out of his league. So it'll be interesting to see how Rick handles the situation going forward. Kim's pretty much in the same situation she was in last episode. It's just the only difference now is that she is in the hands of Gaines, and we don't really know yet what his purpose is with her. I'm loving the show, but I'm kind of sticking with the critique that I've had from the beginning, which is that this is supposedly such a big assassination threat. It's different than the other ones. It's such a big deal, but it's everyone we've encountered so far, except for Gaines and maybe Mandy, are such amateurs that are not just expendable, but just should not have been brought into the fold at all, because the more people who know what's going on, the more people can talk if they get caught. I've never really had a life of crime, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about here, but it seems like everyone would be on a need to know basis. Dan and Rick are not seasoned enough for a plot this big. They never should have been picked. Rick is 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It doesn't really seem to have the nerve for what he's trying to pull off. Dan is scared shitless, and does not know what to do and actually seemed to think that he could get away with lying to Gaines, so that was not a smart play. And then Mandy's girlfriend thought that she could play Gaines to try to get more money for the ID card. That wasn't a smart play. And then you've got this loser with the payphone who's, well, they tell me what to do and I get paid. Is there this much money in being involved in assassination plots? Like, that's what I want to know. Because there's all these different parts, and I feel like if you could just get better people, like, you could get fewer people to get the job done. Janet was never needed. So I would have gotten an absolute professional. You don't need to lure Kim away, who's probably going to bring a friend with her. That presents a whole other set of problems for you. Get one person who knows how to get this done, who can handle Kim if she fights back, and subdue her and take her wherever she needs to be taken to, deliver them to Gaines. Like, you could have gotten one, like, experienced, strong guy. I just feel like if this is really such a strong network, they could have done better than Dan and Rick. So it's like, everything I've seen besides Gain and Mandy makes me feel like this assassination threat is less and less serious because it's a bunch of amateurs. It really is amateur hour here. And then Terry is probably the one I feel sorry for the most. Like, Kim's situation sucks, and Nicole is going to find out very soon that her rape is basically going to be public discussion again, which I cannot even imagine going through, regardless of whether or not it involves any family. Like, that's almost besides the point. Like, that's probably the most emotional I have felt on this show so far, was that scene where Palmer was going to tell her and then couldn't because she was so happy. I can't imagine going through that. But then Terry, I hate that she's blaming herself for the situations that she's in. Like, your kids are going to try to get away with things sometimes, and that's just how it is. So, like, it's not her fault that she got upset with Kim for doing something she shouldn't have done. Like, Kim was trying to hide information. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I really do kind of stick with Jack's original assessment that it's a typical mother-teenage daughter thing. It will eventually be a situation that settles down, and it's something that people tend to make bigger in their mind than it actually is. Because even if Kim never sees her mom again, like, she's not going to be worried about what her mom said to her over poor algebra grades in her final moments. Like, that's not going to be what comes to mind. I don't know. I've never died before, so maybe I'm wrong. But I just feel like, it's just the things that people argue about a lot of times at the end of the day are not that serious. A lot of times the things people hold against each other are not as big of a deal in the long run. So I kind of wish she would let go of that. Like, you don't need to worry about the past and freak out about that. You need to focus on holding on to this investigation and trying to stay sane as possible, trying to just get information as much as possible. I totally get her frustrations with Jack, and Jack just really did not help the situation at all with those conversations. So I'm a little frustrated with how he handled all of that. I just feel like, I don't know, he's not giving her anything to work with, and then it's kind of like he's blaming her for being frustrated. Her daughter is missing. And this has gone from, she went out to party to, someone has her. Like, that's a pretty serious escalation in this investigation. Now they find that the friend that she was with was hit by a car and was lying in the street and is seriously injured, and Kim's still not with her. And she's been going back and forth with Jack, and he's, we as the audience have seen what's going on with Jack. We know what he's up to, but she doesn't, and he's not really doing a good job of explaining any of that. He's just kind of getting frustrated with her as she gets more frustrated. And that's, he's under pressure too, and I get that, but, I don't like the fact that he's kind of blaming her for her own reaction. She's being completely reasonable with how upset she is. So I love this episode. We've got plenty going on. We got plenty of storylines going on at the same time. The situation with Keith, like I said, that's kind of like the least interesting plot line that we've got going on. I just don't find it all that interesting, just because if I was a voter, it wouldn't necessarily be the end of the world. I'm really curious now that Mason is in the fold to see how much he works alongside Jack, whether he tries to get more information from Jack, if he just tries to kind of help him, does she get out of the way a little bit? That's really what I find most interesting so far. It's not quite clear what Gaines' plan is yet, so learning more about him as a character will be awesome. And that's pretty much what I'm looking forward to most in the next episode, so I will see y'all in episode 6.